Little flip back here. Achane has room. There he goes. Should have a first down. Start from the 30-yard line. Start on the ground. Start with a great gain here by Achane. Buffalo at the 49-yard line. On the ground. Breaking tackles. James Cook inside the 20. Inside the 5. Somersaults for the touchdown.
He's got it. He's got room. Josh Jacobs gallops 3. Biggest run in his short tenure with the Packers.
Matt LaFleur run. Watch Elton Jenkins, the big left guard. To run zone schemes, someone needs to distort the defense. That's exactly what Big 74 did.
Darnold 3rd down and 3. First possession for the Vikings. He gets away from one. That was Tillery. He's chased him on the near side.
The 18, he marched him down the field for a field goal on the first drive. It's a bubble to Jaden Reed. Trying to use his speed in space, and they do.
They're going to take a shot if they overcommit to these run looks.
Here comes an end around. It's Bo Melton with room. And Bo Melton crashes to the 21.
His second year, Cushenberry is the veteran, year 5. Ridley to the corner, touchdown.
Ideally, they wanted to play today from a lead and make Malik Willis a drop-back passer, but playing from behind plays right into the hands of Green Bay style.
Jonathan Taylor with a big hole, and he's back in the state of Wisconsin.
Kraft, who we both had the opportunity to speak to earlier, hand off to Gibson, is that as Gibson takes it down the sideline for a first down.
Malik Willis, 4 out of 4 so far. Blitz coming. He's flushed. He can run. He will. He's got a first down. He sets up 1st and goal inside the 5.
Said he needed to pull the trigger quicker. Looked like the blitz was on as Singletary slips through and stays on his feet. Devin Singletary to the 46-yard line of Washington.
Jacobs again. Breaks free. Josh Jacobs broke a tackle.
And that bled into 4th and short of not converting it. So a big sign for them being able to do so.
ETN space. First down inside the 40.
7 rushes so far. Herbert keeping himself. Herbert with his big body lowers his shoulder.
Now Trevor Banks Stadium with Trevor Lawrence in the shotgun. 3rd down. He's pressured. Lawrence has wheels. Plenty of space. Lawrence gallops, stutters, and stood up shy of the goal line.
This is what the Giant defense wanted, a 3rd and 13. But he's got time. And Daniels has room. Can he get the first down? Yes.
In the box, you'll see here, playing split safety. That's not really their base front.
Jonathan Taylor's got a big hole on the first play of this drive. And he's got 18 yards to get out of the shadow of the goalpost.
Well, there you go. I mean, you start your 2 safe.
Cowboys cutting to the lead, 21-13. Back to you guys.
Here we go again. 1st and 10. Galloping Chandler into the secondary.
2 nice throws, 2 nice deliveries in a row by the quarterback.
Robinson shakes loose. And Brian Robinson Jr. is down around the 30 of New York.
Kamara, big hole, left side. Alvin Kamara sprinting towards the end zone. He is in. Touchdown, New Orleans.
2nd and 3, the offset.
His dad was as well.
Yes, he was. Use checker block. The hurdling. There he goes. Into the secondary. Van Ginkel will ride him down.
Dobbins trying to get to the edge. He's got a blocker. He's got more than a blocker. Inside the 25-20. Did the sprints help? Oh, boy, he somersets into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers.
Really good blocking, sealing the edge, and then out front, an excellent block there by Gus Edwards, helping out his running mate. And J.K. Dobbins doing the rest.
Jameis Winston is under center. He had a quarterback sneak on a 4th down earlier in this half. This time hands it off. Ford has the first down. Plenty more. Jerome Ford down the sidelines. Finally knocked out.
Stefanski probably looking up in the booth. Right now, everything about this, where these guys were on the last 3rd and short, shows that it's going to be QB sneak. Instead, he hands it off to Ford, and it's a convoy on the outside of him, untouched, picking up.
To Hubbard. Hubbard makes a man miss. Hubbard trying to get inside the 40. He does. Inside the 35. Shoved out of bounds by Derwin James.
One of those veterans like Wagner that Quinn wanted to bring here for their influence on the young players, as Robinson is loose and has a first down.
Henry running left. There's some room over there for Derrick Henry. Henry with a stiff arm.
Outside zone, Derrick Henry taking his time, outruns Diablo, gets to the edge, breaks a tackle, and then once he gets into you, that stiff arm is vicious.
From the 34, it's Taylor on the ground with room off the right side. He stiff arms his way free. Jonathan Taylor inside the Green Bay 40.
Need a half a yard for the first down. And into a crowd. Robinson comes out of the crowd. Brian Robinson Jr. inside the 20 of the Giants.
Look at him. This is like a rugby scrum right here. And he goes in the middle line of scrimmage right here in the middle. Now watch him just pop out. He gets hit, pops out. Everybody thinks he's still in the scrum. There he goes.
It's almost like he hid and waited. Kamara looking for his 4th touchdown of the game. Stays on his feet. Alvin Kamara's got 4.
Julius Chestnut is in. Fake it. Levis, pressure. He's got room. Levis, big gain into Jets territory, and Levis goes down.
2nd down and 4, Mason. Looking for a block, and he got it inside. McKivitz, touchdown! Touchdown, San Francisco!
Detroit now 5 of 12 on 3rd down. They've been much better in the second half. Delayed handoff, gaping hole for Gibbs. Into the secondary, stepping through tackles, and Gibbs finally pulled down at the 10.
2nd down and 12. 7:11 remaining. On the toss, it's Gibson. Gibson still going. Antonio Gibson finally tackled.
But then he breaks 3 more tackles on his way to a long gain.
Oh, wow, that's an interesting formation on 4th and 1.
And it's Gibbs on the sweep to the edge. 1st down and more. Gibbs down the sideline. Gibbs tiptoeing out of bounds with a 1st down at the 14.
A classic running scheme typically for Arkansas football over the years. Here's Murray climbing the pocket, getting away, and he's got some space. Ooh, nearly took a huge hit from Cam Curl.
He can't call the wrong play. Kyler makes him right, even when the play's not there.
There's Connor. He's got a alley, and he's got a spin down to the 5. So history abound.
Dive, baby, I love it.
Going deep into it. That's what happens when it's 41-10. There's a big run for Imari DiMercato.
6 along the line. And they're coming. And Caleb takes off. Got the 1st down and a lot more. Williams slides down.
Protection broke down. Hurts out to his right. He's got the 1st down and sets up 1st and goal. No, we will not, as the Falcons hurry back to the line. Doesn't matter as Robinson takes it inside Eagles territory, but a flag is down.
But he said they were in sync throughout training camp. London had a heck of a training camp and just hasn't quite shown up yet in these 2 games.
Here's Robinson right side, 1st down plus.